homework from last time. Other than homework. The 9 problems I started assigning last time, there were 2 of them. I think there were only 2 that you couldn't factor or solve by thinking square roots. Is that right? Which 2 were they? 35 and 37. And I think what I told you was you could look at the table, because Daniel, if you remember, told us that if you look at the table, you can figure out if it goes from negative to positive, so it's between a couple numbers. Great solution to start with. I'd like us to find the exact solution now. So on 35, I want you to plug the graph into your calculator. So you go ahead and plug 35 into your calculator. We're going to make some adjustments, and then you're going to turn it in. We're actually going to grade these today. Okay? So you're going to plug in y equals, you're going to plug in x squared. Oops, x squared here. Give a pass, Darwin. Got a good attitude today? Seems like it. Awesome. X squared plus 4x minus 1. All right. When we hit the graph key, there we go. You should have this here. We're going to find those exact points. I think last time we said it was between certain points. You can kind of see it's between -4 and -5, and it's between 0 and 1. I want us to find the exact values. And so this is a kind of an extra thing that we're going to learn on the calculator. How did we find the vertex on the calculator before? Do you guys remember? Where did we go? Where is that? You're exactly right. Minimum, maximum. Where is it? Calculate. Perfect. So we're going to go to second, calculate. And we're going to actually go to 0. Remember that 0, root, x-intercept, solution all mean the same thing, right? So if we go to option 2, we're going to calculate the 0. I would like all of you to do this as well. Okay? To calculate the 0, it's going to ask us left bound, right bound, just like it did before. But it's not. We're not doing left and right of the minimum anymore. We're doing left and right of the 0. How many zeros do you see up there? How many places does the parabola cross the x-axis? 2. So we have to pick one to start with. Which one do you want to start with? I don't care which one. You've got to pick it. Let's pick the right-hand one. Let's pick this one over here on the right-hand side. Okay? So what we're going to do is on this one right here, we're going to go to the left and to the right of where this particular x-intercept is. Do you see the little flasher guy that's moving around right now? Second trace.
Yeah,
Huh? Okay, sure. Okay. So the left bound, right bound. So right now, this is the part that's confusing about this is that sometimes we think that it's below the line, above the line. So I really want you to think left and right. Okay? So where the 0 is, can you kind of imagine? It's right there, and there's one over here. I'm not going to worry about the one over on the left right now. Just the one right here. This little flasher guy is right now to the left of that 0. So I'm going to press enter. Now I'm going to move the little flasher guy to the other side, which happens to be up here. We're just going to mark on either side of that root. Press enter. When it says guess, press enter again. So one of the exact answers is 0.236. Please add that to your number 1. 0.236. So you're just going to be marking the root on either side. 0.236 is what I got. Did you get that too? Hopefully. Did you guys get that? No. Make sure that you're using the same equation and make sure you're looking at the right-hand root. You need to do it on the other side as well. So right now we just found this one. Now we need to go and find the one on the other side as well. So if you go to second calc, so second calc, and then you'll find the other root as well. So second calc, go down to 0. And we're going to need to move the little flasher guy to the left and to the right. So I'm going to look at the other root now. Right, look at my calculator. Is the little flasher guy right now to the left of that root on the far side? Yes or no? Hello? It is not on the left. It is on the right. This is what we're doing right now on the homework. Take it out because you're going to turn it in, but we're getting exact answers to number 1.
The second thing is not the wrong thing.
What we're doing is this. Okay? It is not to the left right now. We have to go, if we're looking at this being the root, to the left is now going to be above the line. So we have to mark it above it. So we're going to go on the left would be up here. We're going to push enter. To the right of this root right here is somewhere below it. So we're going to move it to the other side and push enter. When it says guess, you push enter again. So negative 4.23 is the other root, or negative 4.24. I want you to do the same thing with 37. I want you to find the exact solutions. I guess you'll have to round them. Round them to about 2 decimal places. So go ahead and add those numbers to problem 37, and then when you're finished, go ahead and raise your hand and I'll come collect it from you. So we're going to look at this particular problem. Is this problem factorable? Yes or no?
No.
How would I check? Okay, first look for a GCF. Is there one?
Yeah.
There's no number that I can take out of each of these, right? There's no GCF. Yes, this is the example I want you to put in your notes. We can check to see, are there 2 numbers that multiply to be negative 16 and add to be 6? What are they? 8 and negative 2. Okay? And I agree with that. So we can factor this. Okay? X plus 8, x minus 2 are the 2 factors. If we set it equal to 0, we want to solve it. We set each of the factors equal to 0. We did this before. This is what our homework was on, right? So we know that the 2 answers are negative 8 and positive 2. Right? We've done this.
I just turned my neck and I'll look back on the board and all that stuff.
All right. So what we're going to do is look at something that maybe is not factorable. And you're going to solve it using something called the quadratic formula. If it is factorable, it's nice and easy. We know how to do it. We've done it all along. You factor it, find the answers. It's very quick. The problem is that if it's not factorable, it becomes an issue because it's not going to be quick and easy. Okay? We're going to look at something called the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula, okay, is the quadratic formula is something that we can use, and I'm going to give it to you here. We're going to look at something that's not. Should we start with? I'm trying to figure out. Should we start with one that is factorable? I know. So we know these are the answers, right? Let's do it with the quadratic formula too, so I can show you that it does work, and then we'll do one that's not factorable, because the quadratic formula always works, no matter what. So let's take this problem. We already know the answers, right? We got them. Here is the quadratic formula, okay? So you need to make sure. Quadratic formula, you've done it before. I want you to write it down in your notes. The good news is that this formula is on your SOL formula sheet. They just put it on there a couple years ago. So you're not going to be asked to memorize it because it's on your formula sheet. Okay? So on any test or quiz where I will give it to you. I'll put it on the board or I'll give you your formula sheet. Maybe your teacher sung it to you before, I don't know. But I'll sing it to you now. Ready?
No.
x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a.
One more time.
Okay, I'm going to do it again.
It sounds like this one's good, bro.
X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So, all right, so here's the formula. So Tim, you're a fan of the ABC thing, right? Here's another place where we'll use that. You need to identify what your A, your B, and your C are. So let's do that in this particular case. It's not hard, it's just a matter of plugging in what we know. So A, B, C. What is A? A is 1. B is what?
6.
Positive 6. C is what?
16.
We know this. Good. Okay? So we're going to take those numbers and plug them into this formula. So x equals negative 6. Write it down. Write it down rather than say it. Write it down. Please, please, please plug in parentheses around your b squared. If you don't do that, when you square, the b is negative, it will come out incorrect. So I'm going to almost require it, okay? You have to put parentheses. Minus 4ac. Notice where I put parentheses. So what goes inside that? Well, then we have 2a, right? So 2 times a. So what goes inside the parentheses? B, which is in this case a 6. A, which is 1 and negative 16. And then 2, and then we have the A. Okay? Whenever you are looking at the quadratic formula, that is the first thing 100% that you must provide to me. You must show me that you plugged in the number.
This is what's called
Quadratic formula. To simplify what you have, you need to do what's underneath the square root. It is called something special. It's called the discriminant. We will look at this a little bit more closely next week because the discriminant tells us some important information. So let's just simplify what's underneath the square root. That's the only thing I want us to do. So on your calculator, I want you to tell me, don't put the square root over it yet. I just want you to type in parentheses b squared minus 4 parentheses a parentheses c. Tell me what your answer becomes.
54.
That's not right. Put parentheses.
I did prefer
You didn't square it. Not only what's underneath the square root, honey. I don't want you to do the square root. I don't want you to please guys, you're not listening to my directions. Do not put the square root in there. Do not do that. Just what's underneath, okay? You can follow the directions to the show me. I have it up on the screen for you.
Yeah, Charlie.
Worry about yourself. I got 100. Did you get 100? I got 100.
I don't understand what you just did. What did you put in the calculator?
What is highlighted?
That's it. You didn't put what's outside of the parentheses?
No. Just what's underneath the parentheses. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace what's underneath the square root with the 100. So go ahead and multiply 2 times 1. So I'm just simplifying my quadratic formula right now. That's all I'm doing. Okay?
I got 10 now.
Well, I haven't done anything yet. What I need to do is check to see, is the square root of 100 a perfect square? Now be careful. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. Okay? In this case, is it? Yes. So the square root of 100 is what? 10. So negative 6 plus or minus 10 all over 2. I'm gonna just be patient. Okay? Are we okay with what I've done so far?
Let me write that down.
What's underneath the square root is called a discriminant. I found that number. It was 100. Then I took just the square root of 100. I haven't done anything with the negative 6 or the 2 yet. Here's where it comes into play. How many answers, or how many solutions, how many zeros, how many x-intercepts do I know this has? 2. So I'm going to write both of them. Negative 6 plus 10 all over 2, and negative 6 minus 10 all over 2. That's where the plus or minus comes in. You have 2 answers.
Hold on.
You cannot type this into the calculator the way you see it without using the fraction key, because it will divide the 10 and the 2. So here's what I don't want you to do. Look at my screen for a moment. 100% do not want you to do this. Negative 6 plus 10 divided by 2. That is wrong, because the calculator does order of operations. It will divide the 10 and the 2. The 2 goes into both the 6 and the 10. Okay? If you put them in parentheses, it will work. Or you could use the fraction key. So if I wanted to go ahead and put parentheses, so it would be parentheses negative 6 plus 10, parentheses divided by 2, that will work. Or, as Jennifer just showed me, you can, where is that, alpha, y equals, the numerator denominator thing from before, remember that? You could also do that. It's alpha y equals negative 6 plus 10, and then denominator 2. Either of those options work, but you have to do one or the other. Yes, sir. That's perfectly fine. 4 divided by 2. That works, so do it that way too.
You cannot just start calculating.
So one of the answers is 2. How did I know it was 2? Well, I factored it, and I knew it was 2. Didn't I? The other one should also work. Negative 6 minus 10 divided by 2. That's negative 16 divided by 2, which is negative 8. Didn't I know that was an answer also? I did. I personally think factoring is a heck of a lot quicker, because the quadratic formula does take a lot of work. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Do you always put,
Guys, your question's going to be
what if it was like, what if we had 3 solutions?
there would never be 3 solutions. Last class we talked about how many solutions there are. There's 2, 1, or none.
So we're just getting that answer and then we're dividing by that answer.
So then what if there's
No.
We're going to look at that next class. That's a great question. I'm glad you're thinking about that. What would that look like? Well, I will tell you. You'd have a negative underneath the square root.
Wow.
Because you can't give a negative under the square root. So if that ever happens, you have no solution.
So how does it equal each?
we always, is it always going to be one positive and one negative?
Not necessarily. This depends on how it crosses the graph. Right? What you will do, your answer won't always be 1 positive, 1 negative, but what you will have is a subtraction.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yes, that will always be, because of the plus or minus here. Okay? All right, let me go ahead and give you your homework. Okay, it's going to be on the quadratic formula, and I'm going to give you a few of these to simplify.
Are you going to give us
Okay.
calculators?
No. There's a calculator online if you need it.
No. What do we have an online calculator?
Since the first day of
No,
school.
I mean, they're like fine.
Yeah, download it.
Yeah.
And then like,
Are you ready? Your homework is going to be, I want you to do page 229 again.
again?
Okay. All right, here we go. Page 229. I want you to do the same
we'll have
But-
time until Wednesday.
Let's look at that many. Let's do 9 through 14.
Like you said.
Okay? Now, they're the same problems you did by factoring, but this time I don't want you to use the directions in the book. What do you think I'm going to have you solve it by?
So what
The
direction?
quadratic formula. So please make sure that you're not factoring, but I want you to use the quadratic formula. Okay? I'm only giving you 6 problems. It's not that many. Okay? But because I know the quadratic formula takes a while, that's why I'm only giving you 6. Fair enough? All right, I need the calculators back at this time.